Hello, welcome to CLSP Politics. Sean Briscoe speaking. So today we're looking at Louisiana. Now, Louisiana is weird. It's just like Alaska. It's got a jungle primary, jungle election, jungle everything. Um it's everyone runs, and then the top two people move on as long as nobody got 50%. So you get a lot of Republicans, a lot of Democrats, and they're all running together. There's usually one Republican, when I went and looked up all the voter history, that kind of just takes it at the right from the beginning. And then there's a lot of Democrats and Republicans that get like very, very small pieces of that pie. So, Louisiana's weird. It's majority white, of course, but it's got a lot of blueberries. But when you look at it politically, it's a lot of blueberries and just a lot of dark red rural voters, just a lot of them. So many of them that, and I've mentioned this in the last few shows I've done, I'm talking about the healthcare issue and how that's about to explode in the Republicans' face. Well, Mike Johnson runs like the top half of this state. That's where he's a congressman too, and he's a speaker, and he's really the reason that that triple B, the one big beautiful bill, went through. And also, he's looking at like over 20 rural hospitals closing down in Mike Jonson's district. Over 20. Because he's the vast majority of the rural area. And there's like 30 something of them that are probably going to shut down. But about 10 to the teens to 20s is in Mike Jonson's district is what he's looking at losing, which is just a ton of jobs, a ton of health care. And I mean, and yeah, it's going to be really, really, really bad. And Mike Johnson's directly responsible for it for the whole country. But this is kind of like his backyard. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of nuts. And it's a pretty diverse state in Louisiana. There's a lot of different people living here. It's not white. It's Creole, it's Hispanic, it's Black, it's Asian. Wisconsin's a melting pot. And usually when trouble begins, the Republicans in these kind of states tend to have the problem first. So we'll see how Mike Johnson does in his election. But I'm just saying, unlike in a lot of other congressional districts, I mean, unless I guess there's a Republican that will like super rah 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 about the OBBB, you don't really have anyone you can point to and go, that's the guy who's caused me all my problems. That's the guy who's costing me an extra $800 a month. Well, in his district, there's about 740,000 citizens that can literally point at him and say that. It's kind of interesting. Well, real quick, like and subscribe if you haven't already. I've got a lot of new subscribers on my channel. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Appreciate that. You can find me at YouTube, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and Substack. If you think about running for office, you can go to my website at clsppolitics.com, or you can email me at sean@clsppolitics.com. And more than happy to talk to you about any campaign or candidate you're thinking about going after, or even if they're looking for staff, feel free to reach out. I'm good at that too. If you want to support this channel, you can go to YouTube. I have a Facebook link, or you can use the QR code. And then on my Substack, you can become a monthly member of my Substack, which would be awesome. All right, so these are the candidates. I'm going to blow this up a little bit. These are the candidates running for the Senate seat in Wisconsin. So as you can see, just a lot of them. A lot of D's and a lot of R's, more R's than D's, right? So these are all the candidates running. Now, needless to say, Bill Cassidy is the incumbent, but you've got John Fleming sitting there. He's a Republican. Well, by the way, only the Republicans have raised any money for this race, just letting you guys know. So And based on 3 of them, I expect there to be at least a pretty decent, um, primary season, even though it's a jungle primary. And fully expect Bill Cassidy to win this. He's sitting with $9.5 million back in September, so Lord knows what he's going to have by January when I do my update. But Fleming is obviously self-financing. He donated $2.6 million to his race, and he spent 600,000 of that probably staffing up and getting some other things in order. But he still got $2 million. Probably gonna do some damage with that. Blake Miguez, I hope I'm saying that right. Sitting there at $2.5 million, and he loaned himself one, so he technically could pay himself back. So he's not so much in a hole as John Fleming, but like I said, it's really early. We're going to see how all this plays out, but looks like those 3 are the guys that are going to be really doing the damage. And like I said, I couldn't find any Democrats who'd raised any money yet, but this is all early money, so I'll come back and take a look later. Like I said, there's a jungle primary with a strong GOP vote in this state. I'm not 100% sure how long that's going to last, because I mean, the amount of damage that Mike Johnson and Trump have done to Louisiana is incredible. Plus, it's not like it's a super wealthy state. It relies on tourism, which Trump has actively destroyed because he's made immigration a nightmare, and people don't want to come to this country because they don't know if they'll just be scooped up by ICE by accident. He's devastated the agriculture industry, which is the northern part of Louisiana. He's and then there's the healthcare issue. So it's a real problem, and those are the things that Mike Johnson directly contributed to. So who knows? I mean, I just don't see a Democrat jumping out ahead right now. But we'll have to see. I'm gonna keep my eyes open. I'll come back and look at this state. Well, thank you for watching. That was Louisiana. And like I said, you can get me at YouTube, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and Substack. You can also go to my website, salespeopolitics.com. All right. I'll talk to everybody later. Have a Merry Christmas.